The word flamingo is believed to be Spanish or Portuguese in origin. It's derived from this word and means flame-colored.
The scientific name for the flamingo family also references their feather color. It means something like crimson-colored. However, the root also alludes to the mythical phoenix with its flaming wings.
There are currently more named extinct flamingo species than there are living flamingo species. The total number of living flamingo species is 6, and half of those species are nearly threatened or vulnerable to extinction, with decreasing populations.
The oldest known flamingo fossils date back to 50 million years ago. These birds once lived in Australia, where multiple species existed, including one of the largest known flamingo ancestors that was bigger than the largest current living flamingo species, the greater flamingo.
What exactly is a flamingo? It looks like a stork, but it eats like a duck. It also has a goose-like call. Here's a goose. And here's a flamingo. Currently, it's unknown who the flamingo's closest living relatives actually are.
In the 1800s, flamingos were a common sight in the state of Florida. However, they were hunted to near extinction by the turn of the century. Over the past 123 years, their population in the state has slowly risen, and this is largely attributed to environmental conservation efforts controlling agricultural runoff.
When a wild flamingo was caught in southern Florida, he caused a stir. The bird, named Conchy, was brought to the Miami Zoo for medical care. But once he was healthy enough to be released, his release was forbidden. Because the flamingo had effectively gone extinct in the early 1900s, the state no longer considered the flamingo a native. After some time, however, Conchy was granted permission for release, and his tracking collar indicated he didn't leave the state for at least 2 years.
Although Conchy paved the way for the flamingo's status to change in Florida, it still wasn't enough to grant the birds living there any particular protections outside of those that already existed, such as those provided to animals in the Everglades.
Floridians aren't the only folks to hunt flamingos either. Ancient Romans considered Flamingo Tongue an absolute delicacy that was supposedly delicious. This was such a treat that it was expensive, and typically only the most affluent people consume this.
The iconic pink flamingo lawn ornament was first designed in 1957 in Massachusetts. The artist didn't have any live flamingos to base his design on, so he used old photos from National Geographic.
You've also probably heard that flamingos are born white. They get their color from their food and can live in salty water. But if you weren't aware of these facts, you can learn all about them and more in our full flamingo episode. There's a card on screen you can click right now. Go ahead. Click it. There's lots to learn. And thanks for watching Animal Fact Files.